fresh starts. And in typical fashion, I wanted to start out with sharing something great with you guys. I want everyone just to take a moment of their present inventory and who they are and think about who they want to be and realize the gap every day is your habits and routines, right? So, one of the things that we're excited about starting is our mastermind. So, as we start doing this, there's some new things that we want to share with you. Number one, obviously, the new timing is at 9:30, and we have 1 p.m. lunch and learns on Thursdays. Rachel's going to put a link in. We're going to have a private Facebook group where we can start sharing more information and stuff that's just not on a website and everything else in a different way for us to communicate with each other. And a lot of you guys have asked, like, well, how can I share a referral with somebody in the group? This is where we're really going to build our community and stay in touch. The third one is the role play and accountability program. It starts tomorrow. If you have not opted in, we decided not to just throw everyone into a group because some people might want it, some people might not. But what I find is structured learning with accountability and sharing your journey with other people makes it a lot more fulfilling, makes it a lot more fun, and financially it'll be a lot more rewarding for you guys, right? You will get more business, you will do you will do more deals and have a higher conversion rate when you actually know what to say and you practice it over and over again. So, did you see the new newsletter that we have coming out? It has our highlight stories of some of our agents, some tips, and some other stuff. And these are all things that Rachel has put together. So, Rachel, thank you for giving our community such a great experience. And look, one of the things that we're really focused on for all of us here is how can we create more conversations with all of us together? All of us are coming here to go through the same journey, right? Our 360 promise was everything you need in your life and your business in one place. So we fulfilled on that promise in creating this network, creating this group, and creating this community. Now, our next step is how do we foster community within community? We all work at the same place, we all use the same tools, and we all have the same mission and vision, right? Is to help everybody find their place in the world. And we're all going through the same training, same processes. So it makes the most sense for you guys to partner up with each other. I always say that real estate can be one of the most lonely businesses in the world because by nature, you're spending a lot of time by yourself, right? You're with clients and stuff, but when you're doing your emails, you're alone. When you're driving in the car, generally alone. You know, you have some people like Bean and Jenna that are lucky and their mother, daughter, they get to spend time with each other, but it's not always the case for all of us. I know when I was an agent, I spent a lot of time on my own. So make sure to reach out to the people in your accountability group. If you do want to join an accountability group, email Rachel at chiragshahcoaching.com and she'll make sure to add you in. And I'm sure in the chat, she'll be putting some links and stuff for people as well. So without further ado, I'd like to get started on one of my favorite topics, pitching compass. So today we're going to talk and we're going to get through a lot of content and we're going to go very fast. There's going to be supporting materials in our members section that talks a lot more about some of these in detail, and we'll be doing follow-ups as well. So let's start with the pitch. The pitch is really won before you even walk into the house. So we want to make sure everyone starts by pre-qualifying with the MedC process. Listen, when somebody's selling their house, they have a specific motivation. There's an expectation they have of partnering with a realtor. They have disappointments that they've had past and present, and ultimately the services they've gotten from whether it's a realtor or somebody else. And the C is concerns. Do they have any concerns with making a move at this time? Whether it's the economy, interest rates, COVID, make sure you understand what somebody's motivations, expectations, disappointments, and concerns. This will really set the stage of the conversation to have. Remember, we said in the video that we sent today is how do we make sure that we connect with our clients 100% of the time to convert 100% of the listings we want? To be clear, you guys don't want every single listing, right? So if you don't know what's motivating somebody, you don't know what their expectations are of an agent, you don't know what disappointing experiences they've had in hiring a service provider or with a realtor, or their concerns because of the world we live in today, how effectively can you have a conversation? What's going to happen is you're going to walk in like you have telekinesis and you're going to spew a bunch of information. Because as an industry, we're told just to practice our pitch and then we pitch somebody. It's actually a presentation. A presentation is a one-way dialogue. A pitch is a two-way dialogue. Think of Shark Tank. The second one is ask them if they've seen any marketing that they like or didn't like and ask them to flag it. and say your goal is to exceed their expectations. And really, now you understand what the client wants, what they don't like. And for marketing, this is very helpful because everyone has something in their mind. They've all looked at houses on Zillow, Trulia, Compass, wherever it is. And based on that, there is an expectation they have. So this is the best way to meet it. Now we're at the meeting. Always repeat back what you hear, right? What I hear you saying is, a lot of the time, I don't think we realize what we're saying is not the same thing as what somebody's hearing. Now, hit yes in the chat box if this has ever happened. Have you ever, excuse me, have you ever shared something that in your mind was so clear that it would make no sense for another person not to understand it? They either didn't follow your directions clearly, didn't understand it, and you're sitting there like this. Hit yes if that's ever happened to you. Someone write a yes for me. A lot of yeses. Greg Half, that was nice to see you. Happy New Year. So why I share that with you, it's really important because when you talk to a client and you share something, it's not a bad idea to say, when I shared that with you, what did you hear? How often do we really ask another person what they heard? Because remember, in that 60 minutes, you're telling them about yourself, your company, your marketing plan, your communication plan, how you're going to price property, what's important to them, where they're going. It is a lot of information. Now, think about how much information you guys get in a 30-minute training. And sometimes it could be a lot for you guys, right? Now, think about how much information someone has to process for their life within 60 minutes, right? So then the magic question. And for the people that have been with us from the beginning, they know this works literally like magic. So once you've gone through this process with them, ask them, what's the most important thing? What's most important to you about an agent and company that represents you in the sales? I'll repeat that one again because it's worth writing down. What is most important to you about an agent and company that represents you in the sale of this home? Now remember, we understand their Med C, we understand what they want with marketing. Now we've gone to their house, we've shared with them what their Med C is, right? And given them the opportunity to add anything else. And now we've gone and asked them what's most important to you about an agent company that represents you in the sale of this home. Shut up and listen. See, that's about a 10-second pause. A lot of times I've sat in on many presentations with agents and they don't pause. They don't give another person a chance to speak. Now, remember, the game is won by having the conversation that they want to have, not the one that you want to have. I'll repeat that again. The game in the listing is won on the conversation that they want to have, not the one that you want to have. So now you understand what's important to them, so you know how to tailor your pitch. Then they've now shared with you what's important about an agent and company. And they'll tell you exactly what it is. Because remember, we shared everyone has an expectation before hiring somebody, going anywhere, or doing anything. Now, look, in the end, it boils down to three things. People really care one way or another about three things: communication, marketing, and price. That's what everything boils down to. And honestly, everything folds into these categories, right? So if someone says to me, well, Shrag, like, where are you going to market my home? Great. What it sounds like is most important to you is the exact marketing plan on how I'm going to get you the best price from your home. How are you going to sell my house and get me more money than anyone else? What I hear you saying is you want to know the exact plan that I'll use to get you the best price through marketing for your home, right? So you have to be able to shift this into something that's benefits driven and something that's clear, concise, and they can understand, right? Now, there's a transition statement. So if somebody says, what I really care about is marketing and communication, it's really important that Suzanne, that I know what's going on the entire time. Like, I had a realtor before, I had no idea what was going. I couldn't plan to move. It was very frustrating. And ultimately, we know with COVID, how are you going to market my home differently, right? Like, if there's a shutdown or something like that, like what can you do so I can actually move? Because I don't want to live in this apartment in New York City anymore. So I would say to them, Suzanne, What I hear you saying is most important to you is the exact marketing plan an agent will use to get you for the best price for your home and a written communication plan to make sure all your communication needs are met throughout the transaction. Is that correct? They're going to say yes. And I'm going to say, great. Which one would you like to go over first? Marketing plan or a communication plan? Who here has a written communication plan? Anyone hit yes in the chat box? Nobody? 2 people. 3, 4, 5. I was going to say a bunch of our coaching clients are on here. You guys all should have a communication plan. We're going to send out a communication plan to everyone in the group to use. It is something that will have you win listings all on its own because no agents actually even have a written communication plan. And Rachel, make a note. We'll do a separate session on that. So you want to say, can I share with you how Compass Tools or how Compass Marketing, or can I share with you how we will do that? See, what happens is we live in this world of theory, right? And part of the challenge is what we're selling to people, right? We're selling people the commute when we should be selling them the destination. Now, what's the difference in that? It's the feature versus the benefit, right? Like, why is it important to them? What's going to happen for them as a direct result blank, right? So these are concepts that you really want to hone into. And now I would go back to whoever's in your accountability group or your role play group, and I would practice this. I would start with the pre-qualifying. If you can't get it right before you go into the house, it's not going to matter what you do when you're in the house. You've shot yourself in the foot and you're already playing from behind. Now, for my friends in Long Island here, the people out there like, what's Compass, right? Like, this is the conversation. Corey, Natalia, I know you guys get this asked all the time. So when someone asks, what's Compass, right? You want to be able to provide a very clear and concise answer. And now, a friend of mine who's like an old ad whiz would tell me the point of good advertising, Shrag, is to stop somebody in their thought process and make them think about something else, right? Like if you pop up a good ad, it'll make you stop and think. Like if you think about Purdue and the golden chicken, right? People really thought like that those chickens were gold and something were different. And that's through the words and the messaging. So this I actually can quote Rory on. People think I made this, but Rory Gallad, these are actually his words. So Compass is a real estate technology company that's been fortunate enough to raise a tremendous amount of capital. It has brought together the brightest minds in real estate, marketing, and technology, allowing me to be more to work more effectively as an agent, as your agent. So let's pull out a few things from there that really stand out to people. Number one, real estate technology company. Someone's gonna say, what's a real estate technology company? Number two, fortunate to raise amount of capital. I don't know about you guys, but the idea that a real estate company has raised money is a foreign subject. It's like, what does a company that sells residential houses do with all this money? How have you brought together the brightest minds in real estate marketing and technology? And how does it allow you to work more effectively as an agent? Now, this will send out a What's Compass, a one-sheeter that shows you how to answer all these questions. But 0 to 1, guys, when someone asks you what Compass is, this is the answer I would suggest using. When I started working at Compass and we started this Pitch and Compass program, I went around and I asked maybe 30, 40 people when I asked like, hey, what's Compass, right? Because even as an employee, when I got there, I was like, what, how do people talk about it? Let me see what it is. And I quickly realized that there was like 30 people I talked to and there was 30 different answers. I'd go through a room of 12 people on a team and I realized 12 people all had different answers. So if it's that confusing for the agents that work here, how confusing is it for a customer? By the way, if you're pitching against anybody else and you know how to answer this one question, it'll automatically make you stand out amongst your competition. So for those of us on here that are in a new market, this is something that I would really take advantage of because your competitors can't answer the question the same way. So here is another way to talk about it. And this is for people that are, whether you're in a new market or a current market, right? And if you've changed companies, this is something to think about. When I was at blank real estate company, you could say your own company, this is where my presentation would normally end. But now I'm at Compass, I can offer you all these additional things, right? So think about what you can offer different than what you could offer before, right? Listen, real estate is a commoditized business. We need to compete more on less on photography, floor plans, Matterports, videos. Anyone can buy that with money. What specifically, sorry guys, what specifically can you do that's different for a consumer than someone else can, right? So make sure you're able to answer what is a real estate technology company. So does anyone have, I want a couple people to type into the chat box. If somebody asked you, what is a real estate technology company, what would you say? Rachel, can you read them off?
Yeah.
All right, we have 60 agents on here. Does anyone have an answer for me? Going once?
Christine says it's a results driven by data and innovation AI.
Okay, there's an answer. See how confusing this is for all of us? Now imagine what a consumer thinks. So I would say to somebody, I'm really glad that you asked me that. When you think, and you have to make this relatable to somebody. When you think of a technology company, Rachel, what would you think a technology company has?
Well, you're asking me?
Oh, wait, we have more answers. No, answer.
More answers. Okay, let me tell you the answers. B says a company that provides a platform that enables you to do marketing, contact management, communication all in one place. And Josh says a brokerage that leverages the latest tech tools for a more successful sales process.
Oh,
Interesting. So some of those answers, like B's answers, like why she loves Compass, right? But again, like when Maury and I came up with Pitching Compass, it was like, all right, wait, like we know, like, because at Compass, the agents, you guys are the customers, right? Not your customer. But the whole concept of Pitching Compass is taking all the great things that you love as an agent, now sharing it through the lens of why it's important for a client. So I'd want a client to understand a few different things, right? Number one, we're a technology company. According to Robert's last email, we have 600 computer engineers, right? What is a real estate technology company? So I would ask someone the question, right? Like, hey, what do you think a technology company has? You think it has computer engineers? You're going to say, yeah, right? Start a dialogue. This is a great role play to practice. At Compass, we have 600 computer engineers and 3 tech campuses, one in Seattle, one in New York City, and one in India. Have you ever worked with a company, Rachel, in real estate that has 600 computer engineers?
I have not.
Can I share with you what specifically they do every day that's going to help me when I sell your home?
Please do.
As we go through the technology and I'm able to show you the specific benefits that we can create on the Compass platform that no one can, I find it really important for people to understand how our technology was made. So can I share a brief explanation of that?
Yes.
Our entire company is built on this feedback form. So our feedback form is really built on the feedback of our agents, which is really the feedback of the clients. So in essence, your Compass agent and the homeowners we've worked with have helped build out the platform for real estate. So let's actually go through some of the tools, right? And talk about how this actually makes a difference, right? So when we start talking about Marketing Center, right? You're going to say, our marketing team that comes from Tiffany's, Disney, Pixar, Condé Nast has built a marketing platform that I can use on my cell phone that will help me market your home within minutes where normally it would take hours. So not only am I able to get the information out faster, not only is it designed for a luxury brand, a luxury presentation, it allows me as an agent to spend more time with you as a client, with communication, finding buyers, and doing the things that are important to you. Would you find a benefit to working with an agent that was able to provide you that type of service?
Yes.
And when you start talking about tech, it is good to show them the tech, right? Like that AI video editor is a pretty cool thing to demo on a listing presentation that says, look, if there's something that we think is great, we can hit one button. We actually have AI. This is how it works. It looks at all these things, find the features, spits out a video. I can now send this out to my entire email news list. I could send it out. I could put it on Compass Workplace, which is 20,000 people that I can now share this with. And number three, I can share this with other agents in the community, all from my cell phone within minutes. Do you think your competitors can do that? No.
Not that I've heard.
No, it's not. So let's go through marketing. The goal of marketing is this concept called anchoring, right? Anchoring is the concept of getting people to buy in to what you're doing. So I would say, David, would you feel that this would be the best representation of your home? Because you're not going to talk about all these great things. You're going to show them. If you're going to talk about videos, you should show them videos. If you're going to talk about photography, show them photography. If you use the Compass platform and use Marketing Center for social assets, email templates just listed, and all these different things, pull up a whole suite of services that says, this is what we're going to create for you on our platform. Show them what this is. Ask them those leading questions. Would this make you feel comfortable if it was a representation of your home? Would you feel confident that this would be the best representation of your home? And do you think that you could get a different experience somewhere else? Yes, yes, no, right? Now you have their buy-in, right? Now, when you talk about marketing, think about coming soon. You know, with Compass, the digital ad platform just keeps getting better and better, but I want you to think of digital ads like putting money in a jukebox. Remember, in perception is reality. And if you could show somebody that 3,000 plus people viewed their home prior to being on the market, what do you think the financial benefit to that would be? And no matter what that number is, if you want that number to be 5,000, 10,000, just put more money in on ads. Right now, Rachel, when talking about marketing, and I'm speaking with Rachel, I'm going to be sharing this with her. What do you think the financial benefit will be if I had 5,000 people view your home prior to being on the market? She's going to start selling herself on why she should work with me as an agent. So I want to make sure that when you're talking to people about this, again, we're talking about the destination. The commute is, hey guys, I can run a lot of ads and get a lot of people there. And how would you guys like that? That's the commute, right? The destination is 3,000 people viewing your home online before going on the market. That's what people are buying. Put a yes if you've ever asked a client this way, this specific question about coming soon. Anybody? Put a yes if you will ask somebody this when you go on a presentation next week. Got a couple of yeses. There we go. I'll repeat that one. What do you think the financial impact will be? I'm going to change the if to a when we get 3,000 plus people to go do an online showing prior to going on the market. Now remember, this is setting the stage for price, right? If all these people view the home and no one wants to buy it, this is your opportunity to redo the price. Now, here's a pro tip. You guys work at a technology company, please go buy an extra large iPad if it's within your budget, right? You can't show up with like this big clunky computer and click a button. Like let's all move forward and get iPads and upload all the stuff, right? Because look, you can use Insights Report, you can get slides about Compass's global network. Things that people have done that are really effective is they've gone on Workplace and showed people Workplace. How our company is one luxury brand that's connected in one place through a cell phone, through an app, or anything else. We can show pictures of videos and drones. And by the way, we can show collections for pricing, right? Think about it. Your competitors are coming with a stack of papers that's maybe binded or stuff like that. Hey, look at this listing. Hey, look at this listing. Better to be able to look, right? Remember, this is exactly how I'll get you the best price. Remember those words. Pre-marketing, digital ads coming soon. Getting it out, while you always use suburbs in New York City, getting out to buyers in the city and workplace. It's a 20,000 person community. Sitting on pitches and talking to clients and agents. The fact that we have this 20,000 person community and workplace is so impressive to other people. It is something that people can't believe because, look, none of the other companies are connected this way, right? Making communication plan. What's your preferred method of communication? I know Fran, who's on here, asked a client one time who told them that they're 90% going with another realtor, and they kind of were hiring her as a, excuse me, meeting her more as a formality. She showed up there and asked him, well, what's your preferred method of communication? The lady said no one even asked her that. And they just pretty much asked her to drive over. She didn't have her regular presentation and everything else. And the fact that she was willing to communicate in a way that was preferred to them and guaranteed ongoing communication won her a $4 million listing. So if you think communication isn't important, it's actually the number one complaint that realtors, people have about realtors. And listen, at the end of all this, just remember when you want to close somebody and it's like, really there's two things left to do. You just need to pick a date where we could start our pre-launch plan and just simply fill out the paperwork. That's all. Now, I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. We are working on for everyone a delivering the perfect pitch. So I have about 10 pages of a step by step by step by step process. Our goal is to have that to you guys by the end of the month, right? But this, we wanted to give you a very high level overview on how to do the perfect compass pitch. So if you guys are not in an accountability group, reach out to Rachel to get yourself added to it. For Med C, motivations, expectations, disappointments, concerns, make sure you're talking to people and understanding that. Understanding that one simple thing will change every single conversation you have with a client, buyer, or seller. And lastly, remember to stop selling the commute and start selling the destination. People want to know where they're going, not how they're getting there, right? So be great active listeners. Make sure you're fully present and engaged. And on behalf of myself and everyone else, we could not be more excited to go on this journey with you. Tomorrow, we have an agent spotlight interview and followed by a live role playing session. So, everything that you guys need, you keep finding it here. If you guys have suggestions, we're always welcome to different topics and ideas and everything else. Please email them to us. And if you're seeing common trends in your marketplace or something that you feel would be beneficial to everyone in the community, we are always happy to create what's most relevant. So thank you guys. Happy Monday. Happy start to the new year. Remember, how you feel today and how you woke up inspired, energetic, and to conquer your dreams, the goal is to hold on to that feeling. Remember, don't buy in too much to something that goes great and don't get too down for something that did not go as well. This is an infinite game. It's a game that just keeps going and going and going and going. Sometimes we'll win, sometimes we'll lose. But the most important thing is how we show up every single day because every day in real estate starts at zero. So we'll start again tomorrow. Happy Monday, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.